Hey everyone, Broda here, and I wanted to bring you guys my Witch Doctor build, and I know it's been a while, but I didn't really think anybody wanted to see me go from levels 1 to 70, especially because there was a bunch of problems when I was doing that. Like, I was trying to play co-op with my friend. You guys might remember him from my Titanfall Generation 8 video, RoS, but the problem was that my Xbox was being weird. I had to like tweak around my IP settings and all this crap just so I could get to play online. I kept on saying Diablo 3 servers weren't available, while it was for him. And it was weird too, because he came to my house and then we tried doing system link, but again, you know, it wasn't working. It was being weird. So we ended up playing co-op, and we were sharing a screen, and we were doing stupid nonsense and stuff, and you would always see the screen like us stop playing for a while so we can do our settings, you know, do our weapons and all that crap. And I didn't want to bore you guys with all that, so here I am. Anyway, now I'm here and I have a level 70 Witch Doctor, Paragon 36. I've been putting quite a bit of time into it. However, I don't have that great of gear. And by the way, for anyone who doesn't know, you can't realize by the A right here, I am playing on the Xbox One. And yeah, so let me just get right into it. So first I'm going to go into my skills. So right now, since I don't have any special weapons I don't have any really good legendary weapons that have high enough damage or good enough skills on them to actually give me buffs. What I did was I just went Plague of Toads with Rain of Toads, you know, so I can get that's mainly what I'm going to be using for the DPS. But let me just get this out of the way. This is a pet build. This is not like just a mana build. This is a pet build. So Plague of Toads with Rain of Toads. I have Piranha with Piranado to suck them all in and then rain the toads down on them. So for example, so what I have on my X slot is Big Bad Voodoo with Slam Dance for that extra damage. I have Summon Zombie Dogs Leeching Beast because I don't have much health, but every time I do take damage, I have a bunch of intelligence, so that obviously adds to resist all. So I do get damage, and then right away I'll get my life back because I have really high life on hit, as I will show you guys later. Well, for my health I have quite a bit of life on hit. On my B slot I have Spirit Walk, you know, just in case I ever do get too much damage. I get my 14% life and I get to walk. And this is especially good because of this right here, Grave Injustice, where I gain 1% of my maximum life and mana whenever somebody within 20 yards gets hit, and I get 1 second of cooldown. So just looking at the skill, it has 15 seconds of cooldown. I'm in Spirit Walk for 2 seconds. Anybody who dies near me will be taking damage. So let's say it takes me 3 seconds to kill 3 people who were in the Piranado. That's an extra 6 seconds gone. I have to wait 7 more seconds. And the good thing is, because since your potions and stuff have a cooldown themselves, you don't always have a reliable health source. So Healing Journey is what I use instead of Jaunt. Moving on, I have Gargantuan, and I know a lot of people like to go for Wrathful Protector, where you summon a really powerful Gargantuan for 15 seconds and who has big damage. However, I do prefer, since I'm not on Torment 6 just yet, I don't have the gear already, I do like Restless Giant because he's always around. And what I found out that you can do is, even though it says the effect occurs every 120 seconds, and the effect being that you get 20% movement speed, 200% physical damage, and 20% and 35% attack speed, you can actually have this happening for you less than 2 minutes. So the cooldown for Gargantua itself is 160 seconds. Add on the Grave Injustice, where you're going to be killing people, and as long as you're staying within the general area, you'll be getting cooldown reductions. So with all that factored in, what you can do is you can activate your Restless Giant again, and then he will automatically be able to go back into his Rampage mode. I guess that's what I'm going to call it, the Rampage mode, where he gets the movement speed, attack speed, and physical damage. So I feel this is better because I don't have like large cooldown reductions, so I don't want to wait 60 seconds every single time to get a Gargantua back out, because he is an extra body taking damage instead of me. Moving on, for my passives, I already told you about Grave Injustice. I also have Pierce the Veil, because the only thing that actually has much mana cost for me, I think the only thing that has mana cost in general for me, is Piranado, which takes 250 mana. And at 30%, that's not a big deal. It's essentially a free 20% damage buff. Going on, I have Midnight Feast, so I can have an additional Zombie Dog, and Zombie Dogs and Gargantuan get a 50% buff. You know, again, it's free damage and I get an extra dog. And then the most important skill, most important passive and skill that I have in my arsenal is Fetish Psychophants. Psychophants. When you hit an enemy with the spells, you have a 10% chance to summon a dagger-wielding fetish to fight by your side for 60 seconds. You can have up to a maximum of what I found to be 15. So having 15 of these guys running around, it helps a lot. And for how much damage they do, you can actually just check if you go to the fetish army. Summon 5 dagger-wielding fetishes to fight by your side. The fetishes do 180% of weapon damage as physical. So all these 15 fetishes that you have summoned from your Fetish Psychophants, I believe also do the 180% weapon damage. Anyway, moving on to my inventory now. I have just a rare ceremonial knife, you know, damage, intelligence, life on hit, and a chance for fear, but fear almost never happens, and I prefer it doesn't happen because I don't want enemies to get out of a big group. I like them all to be just surrounding me and my pets, and then I can just do massive damage like that. I have a gauntlet with critical hit, life on hit, special, intel, vital, armor. And also 10% gargantuan damage, which is a main reason that I've had better shoulder plates in this. Like, they've given me more damage, but that gargantuan damage, adding an extra 10% really makes a difference when I'm fighting those groups of rares and elites. My chest plate, I do have a set, but I don't have any other piece to Blackthorn set, and I really do want to get it because my biggest problem is Plague, Desecrator, Molten. I don't like really moving around, so if I get to stand still and use Desecrator over and over again, that'd be great. And especially because I will, if my pets do die, because it is possible they die, especially if you're fighting somebody with extra health, your pet's gonna be in the fight for a long time. It's a chance that they're gonna die. And if they have plagued as well, they just leave all these pools around, and then there's not really much room for me to kite. Like, if I'm ever by myself, which is rare, but it can happen, if I ever am by myself, I don't like to have to like trap myself in a corner and then spirit walk and run away from the fight and wait for my pets. So I do want to get this up, and I don't actually have to get the what is it, 4? Yeah, I don't have to get the 4. I only need 3 because if I have it here, yeah, I have a ring where it reduces the number of items needed for a set bonus, the Ring of Royal Grandeur, up to a minimum of 2. So even though it's on right now, I can't actually get that first set bonus, which is, let's see, the first set bonus is 250 vitality, 10% damage to elites. So also getting extra damage to elites would be great, and minus 10% damage from elite monster attacks once it gets to 2. So if I get another piece of the Blackthorn set, I get instantly all 4 of those abilities. So moving on to my helmet, just intel, vital, critical hit chance, promise of glory, 5% chance to spawn a napalm glory, no, Nephilim glory globe when you blind an enemy. The problem is I don't actually have blinding. I was thinking about giving this to RoS because he is a crusader and he does have blinding moves. So if I give that to him, then, you know, he'd be able to use it every 15 seconds, I think the cooldown is for that move. Yeah, and then all you would have to do is go to the Enchantress lady and then have her switch out the intelligence for strength. It'd be pretty simple. But I do like the physical skill damage, because the physical skill damage does apply to all the little Fetish Psychophants. So every time I do have a physical skill, I generally keep it, especially if I have like lightning or something when I'm not using lightning moves. I'm using poison. Yeah, poison. The Rain of Toads and the Piranado count as poison damage. As my mojo, I just have, again, rare mojo. I don't really have much good legendary equipment. I have a bunch of legendary equipment in my storage, but none of them are really good. So I just switch them out for all of this rare stuff that I find. Maximum mana, don't need the mana. Chance to deal area damage on hit. I already am dealing area damage. The main reason I still have this is Plague of Toads. 12% buff on that. Boots, movement speed, intel, resist all. My pants, I am going to switch out the pants for Horizon Envy. And let me just show you, because the intelligence, I can get more intelligence when I put the sockets inside, and I'll get life per second. The little bit of vitality that I lose is not that big of a deal. And I don't use poison darts, so also not a big deal. And my belt, saffron wrap. There's no real reason I have this, you know, just it's good intel, vital, and then it gives me life as well. And it reduces duration of control effects, so that's always good as well. I do wonder if frozen does count as a control effect though, because I do realize that I get out of frozen faster than if I'm playing co-op, I do get out faster than them, so I am wondering. Paragon, you know, intel, attack speed, resist all, life on hit, you know, the standard stuff. Once I get them to 50, then I'm probably going to go into, for core, I'm probably going to go into movement speed, because again, maximum mana means nothing to me. Vital, don't really care. Offense, after I get the attack speed, I am probably going to go into critical hit damage, because my critical hit damage isn't that high in comparison to my critical hit chance. I should have a much bigger difference between the two. Like, I should at least have 200 critical hit damage, and as you can see, I only have, in comparison, 99% extra critical hit damage to 34% chance. I have to balance those out, or at least get the critical hit chance to be like much higher, so I can at least be getting a good bonus off all the times I am getting critical hit. And for utility, after I go life on hit, area damage, maybe? Resource cost reduction, I don't need that. Gold find, I also don't need that. I have enough money, and if I ever do need money, I'll just trade with one of my friends who are all about money, and they'll sell all their stuff while I salvage all. Because generally when I play with my friends, what will happen is that I will do all the gem combining and all that. If they want any sets, I'll get that for them. They'll just give me the resources, all the resources. I'll combine everything and then just give it back out, giving to the community. Anyway, so I might as well just show you guys how this will actually work in battle. So let me just go to I'll go here to the Oasis and just see how it works. So let me find. Now that we have the actual we can get into the important stuff and how it actually works in combat. So as you can see right now, just threw out Piranado, threw out Big Bad Voodoo, my Gargantua, and if you look at the bottom left where the cooldown bar is, the Restless Giant is usually 60 seconds. Look at it now. Piranado doesn't even have to have a cooldown, it's just out instantly. It's out over and over again. If I was taking any damage, I'd be using Spirit Walk, and that would also be coming back instantly. I'd be able to go into infinite Spirit Walk for a while. If I get a big group of people, and they're not like big groups of elites and stuff, even if they are big groups of elites, and let's say they have illusion, I will be getting massive cooldown reduction. Big Bad Voodoo's already done. That was what, maybe 30 seconds, and it's completely done. And this is before I get into any like battles with elites or any of that. It's just it's like clockwork. It's just find a big group, surround them with my fetishes, and they'll be fine. That's another thing that I don't like. I don't like fighting in the middle of buildings and stuff, because the pet build, I need to like surround the enemy so they can't move, they can't run away once I suck them all in. And then the problem is with that is that if I do try doing that just with, if I try doing that with inside of building, it gets really hectic and it's hard to move around and stuff. So I have to like Spirit Walk through, and then if I do take big damage, I can't Spirit Walk again. Have to use a potion, which is why I've been using so many potions as of late. I haven't been using them, but you know, now I'm in Torment 3 and I'm running around with rare gear, so yeah. As you can see, this build works quite well together. You know, the cooldowns aren't that big of a deal if you're always in the midst of combat, especially if you're doing runs where you have to kill like a bunch of people. So right now, I have to kill 150 people. So I'm gonna be in constant battle, and you know, it works pretty well. And it's fast and efficient too. So let's say even if I don't have my Big Bad Voodoo like ready, so I will show you an example of that right now. You can see I open up this chest and I have a certain amount of time to kill all these enemies. Just suck them in, attack. My fetishes usually will come with me, and I'll call in my Restless Giant and he will go and fight somewhere else. Problem was here though is that this time they weren't too close enough for me to actually get the bonus, the Rampage mode bonus, but there, Paragon 37. It works pretty well, this build. Fast, efficient, and I don't die very often. Sure, I've been using a lot more potions as of late, but I haven't been dying, and this is with straight rare gear. If I had legendary gear, I don't think I'd be dying, period. I'd probably change out Reign of Toads for Adling Toads, because they would be seeking out. The build would change, but you know, it's a pretty solid build. Hope I get legendaries, and once I do, I will be letting you guys know where and how effective they are with my build. So I want to thank you guys for watching. Hope to see you guys later.